Congressman Byron Donalds, Republican from Florida, joins us now. Great to see you, Congressman. Look, it's the big question right now. It's the big one that's hanging over all of this. Do you think Democrats are going to drop Joe Biden?
I don't know. And to be honest with you, that's their problem, not mine. I'm much more concerned that Joe Biden's going to be president for the next 6 months or so. And what does that mean for us when it comes to national security and all the other issues that the office of the presidency has to deal with? That's an issue that, frankly, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris need to work out immediately. When it comes to the presidential election, Donald Trump's going to be the next president because, number one, we know that Joe Biden can't do the job. Number two, the Democrats and the media hid the fact that Joe Biden is not capable of doing this job. And then number three, their agenda has been a disaster. So people are sick of the agenda anyway. Then we find out they've been lying to us. So I think they're going to lose no matter who they put up. The bigger issue is who's running the country and how does that work for the American people for the next 6 months or so until the next inauguration.
All right, next one for you, Congressman. I want you to listen to what President Biden had to say about the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity. Listen to this.
This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent because the power of the office will no longer be constrained by the law, even including the Supreme Court of the United States. I know I will respect the limits of the presidential powers I have for 3.5 years. But any president, including Donald Trump, will now be free to ignore the law.
Free to ignore the law. That's not true. What's your reaction to Biden's comments?
America, I'm so sorry. I had to roll my eyes because Joe Biden is the one who has ignored the limits of presidential power. He has ignored federal immigration law and federal border security law. It is his responsibility to faithfully execute that law. He has not done that. He's refused. He's actually done the complete opposite. The Supreme Court has told him not once but twice that a student loan bailout is unconstitutional, and he just keeps going around trying to find a new way. That's not being observant of the law. And it is well known that the offices of the government are not allowed to suppress the free speech of the American people. Joe Biden's administration did that all through COVID-19, very frankly, still doing it now. They tried to stand up some government agency talking about being the office of speech or speech, or whatever they wanted to call that office. They had to shut that down because they were shamed by everybody. This guy has the unmitigated gall to talk about the powers of the presidency. He has abused those powers every step of the way. So I don't care what he has to say. The truth is, when Donald Trump was president, he lived within the confines of presidential power. He obeyed Supreme Court rules. He even agreed with Congress, even when Nancy Pelosi was running the place. That's how much he respected the presidency and the rule of law. Joe Biden has not done that.
Talking of eye rolls, one more for you. Squad member Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez threatening to impeach the Supreme Court justices after their immunity ruling. She said, quote, "The Supreme Court has become consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control. Today's ruling represents an assault on American democracy. It is up to Congress to defend our nation from this authoritarian capture. I intend on filing articles of impeachment upon our return." Your comment on that, Congressman?
I got no comment to her. She should have saved those articles for Joe Biden, just like on all the issues I just laid out. The truth of the matter is the Supreme Court was put into a bind by the lawfare from the Biden administration. It's the Biden administration that decided to turn and weaponize the Department of Justice against their political rivals. So what is the Supreme Court supposed to do? Watch it happen, knowing that they're doing things that are unconstitutional against the office of the presidency for political gain? The court made the right decision. We all know that there was an implied immunity for presidents when they leave office. If they didn't do that, then you can have a situation where Barack Obama is brought up on murder charges because he ordered a drone strike on an American citizen overseas with no due process.
Right.
But that's within the confines of the office of the presidency. AOC does not care about what a constitutional republic is. She just wants her way. And now that she doesn't have control over the Supreme Court, now she's big mad. Those articles aren't going anywhere in Congress.
We'll have to leave it right there, but we hear loud and clear. Congressman Byron Downs, thank you, sir, for joining us today.